Hey guys, I had some unfinished business in the last Clicker Heroes video, so I figured I should touch upon some other topics now that a few weeks have passed and I have a better understanding of it. So basically I'm gonna talk more about Transcendence, when to do it and what you should do after it. And if you're one of those people who are like, why the hell should I transcend? I'm just going to lose all my progress. Then trust me when I say it's worth it, because with Transcendence you can probably get back to where you left off in a fraction of the time of your previous run. Like for example, I think before my first Transcendence I was only getting something like a few million souls for an average ascension, but look at me now, fresher than a mother trucker, getting 5 trillion hero souls for this next ascension. And that's about as much as I'll be getting per ascension for a while unless I transcend, due to this thing called a Transcendent Soul Cap. If you look closely, for each primal boss it lists the normal hero soul reward in purple text, but if you've transcended before then you'll also see this pink text that says plus X hero souls from Transcendent Power. Basically if that number matches your cap and you can reach that amount fairly quickly, that means it's about time to transcend generally. And that's exactly what I'm about to do, gaining an extra 14 ancient souls in the progress, which is much lower than the 50 I got in the first Transcendence, but that's perfectly normal because the more ancient souls you have, the harder and harder it gets to acquire the next one. I did a bit of research on the Clicker Heroes subreddit, which is the best source of information for this game, and although the math is not yet there, a rule of thumb many people established is that you should aim for about 8 to 10 ancient souls per Transcendence, but as you see I sailed way over that because I prefer those big jumps for that better feeling of progression, rather than going in tiny increments. So yeah, now that I have completed my second Transcendence, it's time for the good old grind from level 1 again. I think the devs purposely made it so the first run after transcending is super slow, but thankfully this thing called Quick Ascensions exist, which give a static 7 hero souls at the beginning of the game no matter what. And that's a whopping 70% more DPS, granted you don't use any of the 7 on Ancients, though I highly suggest you do if you're going for an idle build and get either Cialatas or Libertas as one of the 4 options. If you're unlucky, and don't get them though, then here's a secret little tip I learned to get them to show up every time. I didn't use them on this run because I got Libertas on my first try, but I think this is how it goes. Save your game right before you transcend, then transcend. Buy a quick ascension and look at what ancients you have. If it ain't the right one for you then just reload the save and a different combination of ancients should appear. So if you ever make use of this tip, then you're welcome. Now to explain what I'm spending my 14 ancient souls on. For one, I finally put points into Borb now that I understand its use, and it feels like the perfect outsider to me since I like to drag things out a lot and stretch my ancient soul amount. Then the rest of the points mostly goes into Ponyboy because more Solomon means more hero souls, which in turn means more ancient souls. Again, a rule of thumb is for every 19 points into Ponyboy, put 10 into Chore. Since I already have 10 in Chore, I need to upgrade Pony to 38 before I bring Chore up to 20 since Chore costs quite a bit past level 10. Don't ask me why the magic number is 19 though, probably because it's 50 away from the best number in the universe. So that's it for outsiders. Let's focus on what's going on right now, with me just ascending for the first time for a whopping 1500 hero souls. Yeah, you heard me right, 1500 on ascension number 1. Goes to show you how OP Transcendence gets once you get through the slow-ass early game, though that amount was partially inflated by those massive amount of relics I had, ha. If you're wondering where all those relics came from, well you can thank my overpowered mercenary for that. While I'm on the topic of relics, you know how the general consensus was admin all the way, right? With the 1.0 update it doesn't change much, admin is still superior, but it also helps to get a bit of Kumoa Kamaru now that it's possible to get such a relic like that, 'Cause who can resist less monsters to one shot, which means faster runs. I think that's all I have to cover on for now, so I'm going to end the commentary here. Apologize for lack of humor/jokes. Typically Clicker Heroes videos are more informative than anything because I think it's more important for you guys to get good than to die from your guts falling out from laughter. Right? That wasn't very funny, was it? Anyways, likes are always appreciated, and are especially helpful on videos like this one, where there's always going to be a bunch of dumbass 5-year-old subscribers who dislike because they're like, "Oh my god, I don't play this game, so stop uploading it and upload the game I want to see, you stupid bitch." So let's try to mitigate the impact those little shits have by the press of a single button. Have Outsider Day.